Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff pitch, presented by Fantasy Phenom. I'm Kyle. Mike will be joining me shortly after he's done with work. Here to break down today's 12-game main slate. So we got a couple early games going right now, 3 early games. We have KC 1-0 versus the Indians, and then Tampa Bay is up 3-1 now. So, let's see, let's make sure everything's good to go. What's up, Jason? Bam, looks like everything's good. Yo, what's up, Envious? Good call on Bellinger. All right, so we got Washington and Philadelphia. Apparently, Roto is talking up Vince Velasquez. Do we not have this lineup yet? Hold on. I feel like this lineup is out. It is Turner, Worth, Daniel Murphy, Zimmerman, Rendon, Taylor, Chris Heisey, and Matt Wieters. There we go. Let's get that updated so we're good to go. Bam. All right. So the only real rain concern we have is in the... Actually, no, hold on. I might have just entered the wrong lineup, of course. I did. Damn it. It's Rendon. Wieters is 6th. Taylor is 7th. And Rafael Batista. Bam. Now we have the right lineup in. All right. So the only real rain concern we have right now is Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. The video's lagging, that's not good. There we go, looks like we're good now. Alright, so AJ Cole, definitely is a fly ball pitcher in his career. You look at some of these numbers, over 50% everywhere. Has not pitched yet this year, but low average but high fly ball rate, high prone to home runs. In Philadelphia, wind blowing out, I think you can target some of these Philadelphia bats today for sure. And then on the flip side, Vince Velasquez, we know his troubles with home runs, man. So I kind of look at some of these lefty bats for... Even you can look at Ryan Zimmerman, definitely has power to the opposite side, but I like Wieters. I love Daniel Murphy today. Trey Turner's not a bad play at leadoff, obviously, so I think that's kind of where I target. If I'm looking at the Philly side, I really like Stassi in the 2-hole. Thank you, Shane. So I like Stassi in the 2-hole. I like Michael Saunders down at 6. And I like Cesar Hernandez. So I like 1, 2, and 6, actually. I can get behind some Franco, too. You can attack. He gives up fly balls and home runs to each side of the plate, so it doesn't really have much splits. But like I said, wind blowing out, there's a lot to like here. Chicago and Baltimore. We got the 2 Dylans on the mound. One is significantly worse than the other, and that is Covey. low K percentage. Does not strike guys out. You see the blood red all the way across. Fly ball pitcher, hard contact, gives up home runs. I look at this Baltimore stack, and I'm all over it. I think it's going to be chalk. I think rightly so. These righty bats are absolutely in play. Jones, Machado. I like Davis again. Highest rated Oriole yesterday. Of course, goes out, hits a home run. Trumbo, I think you can look at. Mancini, someone I'm looking at. I think you can look anywhere up and down this lineup, man. I think anyone, 1 through 6, anywhere is in play for me. On the Chicago side, I think I'm going to stay away here. I know Frazier's back. He's maybe the one guy I look at. Dylan Bundy does have a tendency to pitch to some fly balls, but low average, decent K percentage. So I think I stay away from these Chicago bats today and just focus on a Baltimore stack again. I know it let people down yesterday. That might be something that keeps people off of them, which I can kind of like. Awful pitcher and Baltimore chalky lineup. Yeah, I'm going to be interested. Good God, that's red. Yeah, no, he is all red. It'll be interesting to see. So I mentioned this game, obviously some rain concern. That worries me because I really, really like Garrett Cole today. Guy keeps the ball down. So, man, it's hard. I really like Garrett Cole today, but I don't think I can risk it, not in this game, especially with rain concern picking up as the game goes on. That's too worrisome for me. I'm going to stay away there. But that's great GPP play if you want to go that route. On the Pittsburgh side, I think you can target Matt Garza. Again, we talk about regression to the mean. I mean, he did so far in 2017, he's having his best year, better than his career numbers. But he's given up a ton of hard contact. 50% of his contact is hard. And definitely giving up some home runs still. So I think you can look at Matt Garza, 100%, or I mean, attacking him. I look at Cutchin, Polanco, even John Jaso is someone that's interesting. Hearing rumblings on San Diego delay, yes. There is rain concern in San Diego. So that's going to change a lot if you're looking at some guys in that lineup, and specifically Kershaw. That is going to affect a lot of things. San Fran and Cincy. You know what? I think I go to Amir Garrett today. I like Amir Garrett. What's up, Jeremy? The man behind the home run numbers himself. Let's get the numbers here. San Fran versus left-handed pitching is wow, they've improved a lot over the last 7 days. 317 WOBA, 133 ISO, not great, so not hitting a lot of extra base hits, but they're getting some base hits. 275 average, striking out 20% of the time. I still think you can look to Amir Garrett. I mean, only 3 home runs, only 15 runs scored in the last 7 versus lefties. I think you can look at Amir Garrett today. No, not a lot of rain concern here. That 15%, I'm not worried about that. So I think I attack San Fran with some Amir Garrett, man. And again, these numbers are going to be skewed, right? The left-handed, that's Eric Thames. He destroyed him. Travis Shaw in that Milwaukee game. So these numbers are going to take a little bit to deflate. Ty Blott is someone, this dude has pitched really, really well so far, but there's no K upside. I mean, his K upside is just non-existent. You're looking at 10% of the guys he faces that he strikes out. Terrible. So, I mean, he doesn't give up home runs. He is in a hitter's ballpark with wind blowing out. I'm not going to play him. He's just not a guy that I can count on to get me points. But I'm not going to stack against him with Cincy. I'm not going to do that. If I want to go a one-off, I look at Adam Duvall. That's my one-off from this game. But I'm not going to target Billy Hamilton. So that's kind of where I go here. Yeah, Steve likes Garrett too. Yeah, I agree. What's up, Mike? You're late again, man. You're killing me. So yeah, I definitely like some. Adam Duvall's a one-off for me, but I'm not attacking block today. And like I said, I do like Amir Garrett a lot in this game. Whew. So Miami made a pitching change. Wei and Chen was supposed to pitch. Now it is Odrisamer Despaigne, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Not a lot to like here, man. Not great average, not great WOBA. Doesn't strike out a ton of guys. Home run, didn't give up home runs. Robert Gsellman has clearly not pitched like his averages, so that's kind of one of the reasons why we added. So I don't know if you guys, well, let me give you kind of the backstory. Last night as I'm making the files, my entire Excel database crashed, so I had to redo everything. And as we prepare to transition to the website, we're kind of changing our approach on pitching because we're looking at factoring in some different statistics. So we're moving to a 2-year average. We feel like we've been testing it. It is more accurate. And on top of that, we're condensing left, right, home, and away. We're getting away with day and night. Those splits aren't significant. And then we're going to give a overall 2-year average and 2017 numbers. So it shows if a guy's overperforming his average, underperforming, kind of basically just how he's performed relative to this year. So I look right back at a Mets stack, man. I'm all over it. Mets have been hot too, man. They've been scoring some runs. So I look at Conforto. I look at you can look at Cabrera, Bruce. Granderson is heating up, man. Home run the other day. I think a couple doubles yesterday or the day before. TJ Rivera smacked that home run. Good call by Jason. So I think I'm all over a Mets deck today, man. That's where I'm going, Mets and Baltimore as of right now until things change. I don't think I played Gsellman. I got to see him improve first, man. Everything is down. He's given up more. He's never been a home run pitcher. All of a sudden, he's given up home runs this year. High average against him, high WOBA. There's not a lot to like for me. St. Louis, Atlanta. Again, we know Tehran struggles versus lefties. And how about that card stack yesterday, man? How about that card stack? I'm going, you know what? Man, see, okay, now I'm changing my mind. I like Carpenter. And Colton Wongbat's left-handed, damn it. I like Wong and Carpenter, and then I can go right back to Diaz, man, and Yorker. You can make a 4-man stack here, really. I don't like the righties as much, but I love Wong and Carpenter, man. That may be a 2-man for me. So I'm eyeing that for sure. On the Atlanta side, Mike Leake, if he's going to give up a home run, it's to lefties, right? The splits are kind of real with him. So I think I can look at Freeman as a one-off. I can look at NCRT. I think I look at 2-man stacks in this game. I look at Wong and Carpenter, NCRT, Freeman. Yo, Triggs was killing it too until that 5th inning, man. I was sitting back cruising, and then all of a sudden, just boom. That's how the game goes sometimes, man. New York and Chicago. Brett Anderson, not a K pitcher, super ground ball pitcher. Super ground ball. I mean, you look at these fly ball percentages, all under 20%. So there's some things to like here. But Aaron Judge is batting cleanup versus a lefty. I think I'm on Aaron Judge today. I think that's an elite one-off. Elite. Gary Sanchez is back. You can maybe do a 2-man stack right there. I could get behind Aaron Hicks is a switch hitter. I can get behind Castro, Judge, Sanchez. I think I looked there today. And Chase Headley's also a switch hitter. What the fuck? I go there, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to call that right now. I like that Yank stack right there. Great day for Vargas so far. Yo, Vargas is killing it. I mean, he's out of the game now, but... So I think that's where I go. Castro back in Chicago. I mean, obviously they had that warm welcome yesterday. So that's where I'm going. Castro, Judge, Sanchez. On the Cubs side, interesting. So obviously the Cubs are realizing Schwarber struggles versus lefties. Wind is blowing in here. I like Jordan Montgomery's K upside. I think the only play I like from this game is going to be Chris Bryant on the Cubs side. I don't think I look anywhere else. So Chris Bryant would be that guy for me. Other than that, staying away from the Cubs. And I think Jordan Montgomery can potentially be in play. Arizona and Colorado. What about Goldschmidt yesterday, man? 55 points, I believe he had. What about Gardner? You can look at if you want. If you're gonna stack the Yanks, I can look at Gardner. I just not super high on him versus lefty. Corbin and Anderson. What's up, buddy?
Hey. Whoa, this is cool. What's going on, Phenoms? Back home, ready to do the damn thing once again. I see we're here at Coors. That's interesting.
Yeah, buddy.
Sorry, I just kind of yelled at you guys. I didn't mean to do that.
You are all good, my friend.
How's everybody doing? Trying to break this losing streak I'm on, man.
Thank you.
We got to make it happen.
Dude, I don't even know if I'm gonna. I'm definitely not playing heavy in this main. Been running around all day. I don't even have reserve lines in yet.
Yeah, I generally don't play heavy on the weekends when I have limited time to research, but it's definitely spent the last few hours diving into the numbers. So Coors to me today with a Kershaw slate is always intriguing. I know you and I both play the same.
Fade Kershaw.
If on a Kershaw slate you're not playing him, generally means Coors is going to be lower owned than they normally are. We got two lefties on the mound. I think both these guys are kind of career, albeit young career, ground ball pitchers that, I don't know, could somewhat neutralize this Coors field advantage, especially with a 55-degree temperature. So I don't know that Coors has really got a ballpark advantage today when you look at the pitchers on the mound. But I know they'll be low owned. So I don't know, man. It's like I'm going back and forth on this one.
I like Trevor Story, obviously, versus lefty. Patrick Corbin struggles versus righties. I think Arenado, Desmond, and Story are who I target. But Tyler Anderson struggles just as much versus righties, man. So I can see this being a high-scoring game. I would rather take Coors than Kershaw tonight. I
think I agree with you.
I'll find my pitching value.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't know, I'm still kind of off Story just because of his season. I like Arenado and Desmond, two-man, and I like kind of really anywhere you want to go here. It's hard to stack with the lefty splits with Lamb.
Yeah, I'm not using Lamb. I can see Goldschmidt on the flip.
Yeah, I like Goldschmidt. I like Pollock, obviously always in play, no matter really what the splits are.
Tomas.
I don't know. I kind of like this 5, 6, 7 here. This three-man in Coors. Obviously, you're paying for it, and I think
which side?
On the Arizona side.
Okay.
Again, obviously you're paying for it because they're all going to be priced up relative to what they are as a player because they're in Coors. But I don't know. I think I could go there today. Like you said, righties versus Anderson. And then, I do caution both these guys are somewhat ground ball pitchers, and it's real cold, and we haven't really seen Coors play to its potential so far this season yet.
Yeah, it is only 55 degrees, so.
Right.
All right. So this game has some rain concern in the middle of the game, so that could be a reason to fade Kershaw in itself. But I still think people will play Kershaw because it's Kershaw, so you do have that factored in.
Yeah, I mean, this is a positive matchup for Kershaw. We talked about last time he went out, he played the Giants. I think you can make the case that was a negative K matchup if you look at the numbers. Mm-hmm. This is a positive K matchup. Obviously, going against a team that strikes out top 5 in strikeouts versus lefties this season. Make the same case with, obviously these guys hit the long ball, so double dip here. I think Myers and Renfroe is what you look at. If you're trying to one-off versus Kershaw, again, I wouldn't stack against it, but yeah, that's where I'm going. I mean, the Padres do hit homers off lefties. Not all lefties are Kershaw, though.
What do you think about Clayton Richard versus the Dodgers? I believe he actually... believe he pitched really well versus him earlier this year.
his first start of the season, he shut them out, actually. I mean, we know the numbers with the Dodgers playing lefties. He's having an okay year, I think, for his price point. He makes for a good play, and again, because he's matched up against Kershaw, I imagine people will be somewhat off of him, so that could be the way to double dip if you wanted to play Clayton Richard. I mean, you're betting, you're kind of betting more on a late inning performance than you are a win, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I think it could happen here. Again, we know the numbers against lefties. That's why you see Gutierrez betting cleanup. Kiki Hernandez in the lineup. They just have a much worse lineup to throw out there versus lefties, and like you said, shut them out first start this season. I wouldn't expect that to happen, obviously, but if I'm playing him at 6-1 on DraftKings, I think I'm hoping for the 7th inning. I don't really care what the numbers are, as long as he gets to the 7th inning. I know he's probably given up, 3 to 4 runs at the most.
Gallardo just got scratched, so I'm just waiting for that new lineup to come in. Astros just came in. Where's Houston at? Bam.
Although, again, you can make the case for Kershaw today. Obviously, I know you're just a natural to fade him. Just as, playing both sides of the fence here. Again, this is probably one of the best matchups he's going to have all season.
Still a fade for me. I just never.
I'm just saying.
No,
if you're playing,
I get it.
Right.
I never play Kershaw. I never pay up for him.
But for those that are tuned in that don't really, obviously don't play much or not used to what a Kershaw slate is, this guy's $3,000 more than any other player on DraftKings. It's very hard for him to return his value, so to speak. But because of his potential, especially in this matchup, he will be high owned in cash. I think he's always at least 25% owned. And so when we say fade that person, it's just you're hoping that he has somewhat of a bad Kershaw game like he did last time.
Yeah. Hoping he gets 30 points, 30 FanDuel points, or 15
instead of
points.
50. Exactly. So yeah, I don't mind the Richard thing. I'm not hopeful that he goes out and shuts him out. I like Amir Garrett too. I think the 5 pitchers I have written down are Kershaw, McCullers, Cole, Garrett, and Richard. So.
Gotcha. So we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens with Kershaw's ownership, being that this game has rain problems, and obviously it is a later game.
And you can't pivot anywhere from his price point.
Exactly. So, and once we get to that spot, if we find out that rain is more prominent, you're going to have your choice of 4 other games with sub-tier pitchers, to say the least. I mean, McCullers you can make an argument for, but.
Yeah, that would be the pivot. You'd have to go to McCullers and then pay up elsewhere. But on DraftKings, that's like $3,000 difference. So paying up elsewhere would be like, you'd have to go from I don't know. You'd have to pick 2 different people.
Exactly. All right, Detroit and Oakland, man. Andrew Triggs was balling yesterday until that 5th inning, or 6th inning, whichever it was, man.
What is that, 2 in a row?
What?
2 in a row. Well, who'd you have before that? That you said was
Tyler Chatwood. No hitter into the 6th inning, and then just exploded.
Yeah. So those 2 pitchers definitely adding to the losing streak here. Mine just went blurry.
Detroit and Oakland.
Hold on.
We got Zimmerman and Jesse Hahn.
So Hahn's been somewhat surprising this season. If you look at the numbers, 2017, obviously he's been somewhat surprising in my opinion. Now, this lineup is obviously not confirmed for Detroit, but I think you can find some potential.
I think you can look at Victor Martinez, obviously, Justin Upton.
Yeah, obviously, I think Justin Upton's in play, Miggy's in play.
Weather looks good also in San Diego.
I think Chris Davis on the other side is a good one-off. Obviously, he's always a good one-off, but
yeah,
wind blowing right.
Yo, look at Jordan Zimmerman's numbers this year. He is struggling hard.
Saying Zimmerman is really not playing well at all.
His hard contact is up to 44%. That is not his game at all. He's always.
It's got to be one of the best on the slate.
Yeah. Giving
If I
up
had to guess.
almost 50% fly ball rate, high home run. I mean, extremely high WOBA, extremely high average compared to his career numbers. So
Yeah, so maybe an Oakland stack's in play. I think, especially if you're rostering Kershaw, I think it could be in play. Target struggling Zimmerman. I just kind of went for Chris Davis one-off. I think he makes the pool as far as mid-tier outfielders that I'm looking at. Did you know this guy, Jeff Decker?
Jeff Decker, yeah.
The people at the hospital spelled his name wrong, and so on his birth certificate, and so he just decided to keep it.
It was supposed to be Jeff.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Jeff.
So he just kept it as Jeff.
I guess so. I just thought that was fucking funny.
That is.
Anyway, again, I mean, do you like a stack on Oakland? I think we've been on and off it all year. I think you can make the case for it today.
Yeah, I look at Alonso. I look at 3, 4, 5 right there.
Yeah.
I can look at Rosales, though. I can look at Rosales for sure, down at 8. Yes.
Yeah, he's been sneaky. Same with Joyce.
Yeah. Joyce had a really good game the other day, so. Houston and LA, these lineups are confirmed. You have JC Ramirez, who has actually pitched really, really well to start the year.
Yeah, he's kind of earned that spot, so.
And then you have Lance McCullers, who his away struggles are very
prominent.
Yeah, they're noted.
I think you can still go McCullers today. Obviously, I think you're more on the home away splits than I am.
I believe him for McCullers. I do. I've seen him get blown up on the road too many times.
I'm not going to play him. I think just it didn't really work out with my lineup. But like I said, he did make my player pool for his K upside. I think if you look at the Angels, they don't strike out much versus righties, but they are bottom 5 in ISO and WOBA as a team versus righties this year. So you got a top tier pitcher going up against a team that's really struggling versus to hit, as far as power versus righties. So,
game note, just something to keep in mind as we get closer. Albert Pujols is at 495 or 595. He's 5 home runs away from a milestone. I think it's 600.
Yeah, I imagine it's 600, not 500.
So I believe, yeah, he is at 500. So he's at 595 home runs. So, and he's heated up a little bit. I mean, obviously he's been playing pretty well. He had a home run yesterday, so 5 away from that mark. So as he gets closer and closer, going to be something to keep in mind when you roster him. You talk about, headlines and stories.
Yeah, definitely, man. I don't know. You just got to keep. Usually, it's either one way or the other. That he's usually creeps closer and closer every day, or he starts to struggle.
Yeah, no, just something to keep in mind. Like I said, I mean, I don't think he's a great play today, but just something to keep in mind down the road as he.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to play any of these Angels, so that somewhat leans me to the colors again.
I think Trout's in play, but other than that, no, I agree with you. Maybe Luis Valbuena, one off. I mean, he's home run or nothing.
Perhaps, yeah.
Orioles stack a good cash play.
Yeah, I think so. Covey in a hitter's park.
Nick asks, is JC Ramirez a good play? You know what, man? If you look at what he's done average-wise over his career, you would say he's due for regression. I mean, his strikeouts are way up.
Well, let's talk team batting versus righties. So the Astros, as a team versus righties, are a top 5 in strikeout percentage, meaning they strike out one of the least people that strike out. So K upside's not really there in that matchup. If you look at ISO and WOBA, the Astros versus righties are middle of the pack. So kind of a wash matchup if you look at team batting. Actually, if you look at WOBA, they're a top 5 team versus righties this season. So I don't know that I could recommend that play.
Ramirez, yeah, no, it's hard to recommend. Like I said, dude, he's due for regression, but who knows when it's going to come. I mean, you could argue he's been lucky. I mean, he's given up a higher fly ball percentage this year than his average, but he's given up less home runs. So obviously, has a lot to do with this park. I think as the year starts to go on and the temperature warms up, I think you can expect that if the fly balls stay where they are, those home runs should increase.
Interesting though. It is a sneaky call. I would, especially on a Kershaw slate. I think it's a pretty sneaky call. So let's look
By
as
the
far
way,
as so.
Jose asked you, I think McCullers will be chalk. No, I don't think any pitcher is chalk today, on FanDuel at least, because Kershaw's on the slate. You won't see significantly high ownership for any other pitcher, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was.
But on DraftKings, there's always two pitchers, so I think you can expect the lower priced guys to be the chalk.
I don't know. You made an interesting point though about the weather. Maybe people, especially in cash, cash game players usually avoid any weather concerns at all. So maybe McCullers for that reason. He's the second highest priced guy on FanDuel, I imagine, as well. So I could see it. I don't necessarily think so because it's not really that much of a concern, right? So, and it's San Diego, so it's the cash play for sure. So on DraftKings, if you're rostering Kershaw, you're not getting anybody else over 8K as your SP2, especially in cash. So you gotta look down here. What is the most likely player under 8K that will get ownership? Again, if you're playing Kershaw, it can't really be Clayton Richard, right?
True.
Unless you're banking on like a pitcher's duel in a sense. I don't know, man. I really don't know where it'll go. I would imagine it could go to Amir Garrett.
I love Amir Garrett today, but on FanDuel, like I said, I don't think he's going to be chalk, so.
Man, I don't know. This AJ Cole kid, I think he's got K upside. But still, first start of the season. And then you got Corbin, who's been playing well. Got 3 straight quality starts. But he's in Colorado.
True.
So I don't really know who's going to get the ownership down here, man. I really don't. And for that reason, maybe people jump off Kershaw so they can get 2 pitchers they feel more comfortable about on draft.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how the ownership plays out for sure. Velasquez, Montgomery, or Bundy? Don't play Velasquez.
I think Montgomery, man.
I would say Montgomery too. The only Cub I like is Chris Bryant.
Montgomery's a sneaky guy. He really hasn't had that wow you start. He's been getting kind of caught up to third time through the order, but he's an over-the-top pitcher that doesn't change his arm angle, kind of similar to Marco Estrada. All of his pitches come out of the same slot. So if you've never seen him, it makes sense why he's getting hit third time through the order, because if you haven't seen it, it can be kind of deceptive. The Cubs have been striking out a bit to start the year as well, and he's also got a good shot for the win with Brett Anderson against him.
That's what I'm saying. Montgomery is a high K upside guy.
So him and Garrett are the same price on DraftKings. I think I lean Garrett just because
I do as well.
He's playing San Francisco, who's been struggling versus lefties big time.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that, but I can see you making the case for Montgomery.
All right, so Texas and Seattle, last game. You got Martin Perez on the hill, low K upside, but severe ground ball pitcher. Doesn't give up a lot of home runs in a pitcher's ballpark. And then you have Chase DeJong, whose career numbers are awful. Never been, I guess, a good major league pitcher. I think you can target this Texas lefty lineup 100%. You can target the righties. You can target everyone.
Yeah, we should just rename him to Chase the Dong.
Gives up the dongs, yeah.
Yeah, I think Odor Mazzara, cool little 2-man there I like. I don't know how much I like it. I don't know if it leads my stacks of the day. What about you?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm all over Baltimore, and I'm actually on Coors today. I really want to target Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm really on the fence about Coors today, and I'm really just because again the ground ball pitchers. Corbin has 3 straight quality starts, and I'll show you who they're against. I think 2 might be against San Diego. So it's 2 against San Diego, and then he shut out Colorado his last time. So
yeah, I'm all over Trevor Story, Arenado, and Ian Desmond. That's my stack in Colorado right now.
But we always talk about is it a worthy narrative? And I think Patrick Corbin being a guy I want to avoid is not a worthy narrative in Coors.
That's what I'm saying.
So, again, it keeps going back and forth with me. I mean, again, he's not a worthy guy to say don't target against. He's played well. It's cold in Coors. These are both ground ball pitchers. People are going to be off of it, however, so because Kershaw's on the slate, so that makes me want to go back to it. It's like,
for what it's worth, though, this year Tyler Anderson has been giving up a lot of fly balls and a lot of home runs.
Yeah, I currently have a Coors stack, and Coors game stack in my lineup. I'm just kind of going back and forth. I made another lineup that actually had the Seattle stack in it. I like this lineup here, man. I really do.
I like the Texas lineup more than
versus the lefty, man.
I like Texas more than Seattle because right-handed bats struggle in Seattle, right, getting the ball out. Lefties, much easier time. And so I look at the lefties in this lineup: Odor, Mazzara, Gallo. Those three right there, I'm all over that.
Yeah, it just looks nice, man. I like this lineup up and down. Like, there's really besides Tuffy here, there's really nobody I could make the case I don't want to play. So the stack I'm looking at today, again, especially if you look at the numbers versus righties, it makes somewhat sense, I think. Taylor Motter back in the lineup for cheap.
Yeah, down at 7.
Already up to 2. But yeah, let's talk about this Baltimore stack. I think because this is another way to get off of Kershaw. I don't think this is going to be high owned. I think again, look at these numbers versus the long ball, man.
I think
especially versus righties here.
I think it's good chalk, man. So we talk about good and bad chalk. Look at Boston today. Everyone, I know people worried about Boston's going to be chalk, but if you didn't have Boston in the early, good luck. These other
didn't Bogarts
was
go off today?
No, Pedroia went off.
Maybe I misread the highlights or something. Anyway, yeah, I think. Where are you on it? Just kind of a 2 through 5. Just kind of stalk the check.
I have 2, 4, 5.
Stack the chalk.
I have 2, 4, 5. I'm not on Machado only because I'm on Arenado.
I got you. I can see that.
By the way, this new lineup.
Yeah, definitely a lot at third base today. You could like shortstop. I think is the slimmest position on the slate. So let's talk that. Who do you like at shortstop today? I think it's again the slimmest position.
Is this Gregor Blanco on the Diamondbacks?
Is there a new Diamondbacks lineup?
Yeah, Owens got scratched. Yeah, he is. Gregor Blanco is on the Diamondbacks. Not in the player universe of FanDuel or DraftKings. Not a worthy play anyway, but
it's outer space.
Worth noting.
He's not alive in outer space.
Lol. All right, so that Baltimore stack. Yeah, like I said, the only reason I don't have Machado is because I have Arenado, and he fits that core stack.
So where are you going at shortstop today?
Right now?
Are you fitting the stack or
Trevor Story?
Or you have as a one-off or part of a stack or just kind of
that Colorado stack? Desmond, Story, Arenado.
Who else do you like at shortstop?
I don't know. I didn't look past Story. He's 3,600 in cores. That's way too cheap. I guess you can look at Aledmus Diaz. You can look at Taylor Motter. I love a Cardinals 2-man of Wong and Matt Carpenter again.
Yeah.
Wong is 3,500. That is expensive. I don't know.
What are your thoughts on two teams I guess I wasn't here to talk about were the Reds and the Mets, two teams I kind of liked today. What are your thoughts? I mean, you watched more Ty Block than I have.
You know, dude, Ty Block is
Can you
pitching.
go after him?
He's pitching really, really well. He just doesn't have K upside. I'm not
I
targeting
meant to
him.
stack against him.
No, not targeting him. Nope.
Okay. What about the Mets against Despagne?
Love the Mets.
So maybe some Dribble Cabrera at shortstop.
Yep.
Um,
Baltimore looking more and more likely to postpone. That's not good. Damn it. Well, guess I'm just gonna pivot straight to a Mets stack.
to postpone for what?
Rain. There's definitely weather concerns in this game. Let's see what it's up to now.
Mets stack. Yeah. TJ Rivera had himself a game.
I'm surprised. It looks like the rain is, at least according to Roto's weather, it does not look like.
Who said that? Postpone.
Kevin
Let's
Roth.
check it out.
Kevin Roth is saying yellow, and the tarp is on the field. I know it's raining now, but I did not believe that it was going to rain come game time. So that'll be interesting to watch.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What
When
is
you
that?
open up a website and they decide to just start playing you a video. Like, I didn't click on this video. I don't want to watch this.
This guy. Wow, Conforto and Bruce are 4K each. No, thank you. Never mind.
Yeah, they went up in price on
I'm gonna stay.
DK as well.
I'm gonna stay.
That's
on my,
really expensive on FanDuel, though.
That's ridiculous. I'm gonna stay on my Baltimore stack.
Thoughts on Josh Bell today as a cheap first base one-off? Hit that dong yesterday. I think people are going to chase against Matt Garza, who gives it up to lefties, or you like it?
White Sox Orioles will be delayed. Okay. I still think you can play the batters, but you know what? I was on Chris Davis, but now I'm really wondering if I should fade this game. Oh, this is gonna irritate me because that's who I was on. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm moving to a Mets or a Texas stack. I'm gonna do that.
So I'm thinking that Josh Bell might get some ownership today because he's a cheap one-off, and Kershaw's on the slate. But generally, people don't pay down at first base. So again, something I'm on the fence about. I could see ownership going either way on Josh Bell.
He's up to 2,900 on FanDuel. It's interesting.
He's 32 or 31 on DraftKings, so still pretty manageable. I think, again, it's usually people don't pay down to first base, so yeah.
I'm leaving my Baltimore stack. They're saying the game's gonna. I like Gift actually. Gift and Gope.
God's gift.
Got to represent the South African, you know.
There you go. Who else? Who else haven't I got to speak of? Any thoughts on a Philly 1 through 3?
I like a Philly stack. Talked about that against AJ Cole, Hernandez, Stassi, and I actually like Saunders. I like 1, 2, 6.
Okay, yeah, I get behind that. How about Galvis at shortstop? If you want to go 6 and 7 there.
Yeah, I can get
Yeah, we
behind that.
mentioned Galvis. I mean, that lot going at shortstop. I think that 2-man's in play against the righty. First major league. I don't know. Is it his first major league start? No, maybe not. I guess he got numbers here, so it can't be. First start of the year. Then, talked about St. Louis. So I guess we're at. I think Judge, man. Judge, obviously.
Yeah, Judge
is
is
in
in a
play.
league one-off. I like Sanchez too, actually, against Anderson.
Well, I just think the fact that they put Sanchez behind him, because obviously I've been watching a lot of Yankee games, so Judge has been getting pitched around. He's been getting pitched around every game now. They're not afraid to walk him, but now putting Sanchez behind him, you know what I'm saying? Like, you walk Judge, you pitch around Judge, you got it.
Yeah, you got Sanchez.
You put him on base for Sanchez, so it makes a lot of sense, man. I think he might get some more pitches to hit today. I like what they did there.
I'm on Sanchez.
So,
that's who my catcher is right now.
I like Judge with that protection of Sanchez behind him against the lefty Anderson.
I think I'm going to go Judge and Sanchez too, man. I'm going to figure out how to get that in my lineup.
Yeah, I like it. Wonder what his price is compared to, say, a Chris Davis. Another one off that I like today.
Judge is 44 on FanDuel, and Chris Davis is all the way down at 3,600. 800
Yeah,
price drop.
that is a $700 price difference on FanDuel as well. I mean, DraftKings, it's 45 for Judge, 38 for Chris Davis. So
Wow.
could be a way to save some money if you wanted to make one lineup with Davis, one lineup with Judge as one off. So I think they got equal chances bombing. Yeah, it's kind of the slate in general, man. I think I'm still on the fence with Coors. I'm making a lineup here without them. I think this Baltimore rain situation kind of solidified. I'm probably just going to run this Coors lineup. I have Arenado and Desmond, and then the 6 through 7 on Arizona. It's not cheap, man. I couldn't play either of the top two pitchers for doing that.
No, I feel it. So give me your top 3 pitchers, point to price.
Point to price. Let's go. McCullers, Cole, and Garrett.
Okay, I'm off McCullers completely. I like Cole, but I'm worried about that game playing. So I'm on Garrett 1. I like, where's the other one at? I'm looking at price here. I like Jordan Montgomery at 6,900 on FanDuel. I kind of like that. And then I really like Garrett Cole. That game worries me.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was a game concern. Dang it! I might have to go up to McCullers and down to Richard because I have Cole and Garrett right now.
Yeah, I really don't have a third pitcher, man. I mean Kershaw, obviously, but I can tell you right now I'm running Garrett every line. So I go Garrett and Montgomery. Those are my 2 pitchers that I'm gonna run.
I could maybe swing that on DraftKings actually. Yeah, I could. Actually gives me extra money to going down from because I was on Garrett, and so I'm going down from Cole to Montgomery. That saves me a crap load of money actually. Interesting. I could probably pay for Goldie.
Go to Judge. Go to Sanchez. I'm going to pay down from Trumbo. Wow, Cody Bellinger's up to 3,300. He went up fast.
30G.
So, yeah. Who are your 3 favorite stacks then?
So I'm going to go Arizona. I'm going to go Arizona, New York, Seattle.
Arizona, New York,
Mets.
Seattle.
The Mets.
See, I like Colorado. Desmond, someone to watch out for is Hannigan. 2,300 on FanDuel in Coors. I know he's not obviously anybody that's gonna destroy the ball, but you talk about potential in Coors. Really, really cheap. 2,300. I love Story, Desmond, and Arenado. And then I like a Texas stack of Odor, Gallo, and Mazar. And I am on a Mets stack of, I'm on a I'll say Baltimore. No, I'm on Baltimore. Of Davis, Jones, Trumbo. And if you want to throw in Machado, you choose between Machado or Arenado.
Yeah, I obviously like Baltimore as well, and Colorado. Pretty sure I have Arenado and Desmond in both my lineups. I just like the Arizona side a little bit better, so I'm kind of game stacking here, obviously. Since I think it's going to be low owned, I'm just kind of nervous, obviously. I think there's definitely some risk for a Coors game stack today.
We have the Tigers lineup in. Kinzer is out again. Romine will lead off. Castellanos, Cabrera, Upton, Alex Avila. Then we have Tyler Collins. Aducci.
Aducci. That's a sweet name.
Jose Iglesias. All right. So yeah, so that's who I'm on. I'm trying to build a lineup that I like right now. Like I said, dude, I've been running around all day.
Word. I'm doing the same. So again, I'm trying to. I don't have any of these top tier pitchers, especially if Cole's not going to pitch. Will we find what time does this game start? 7:05. I imagine if we haven't found out now, they're going to try and play this game. You know,
Who?
they would tell the fans to go home if this game hasn't been Pittsburgh. This game hasn't been decided to be postponed.
I'm really trying to figure out how I want to. Damn it! I need $200. I have Sanchez and Judge too, man. I have Arenado's Story. I went up from Desmond to Judge. I don't know if I want Desmond or Judge. I'm gonna go Desmond.
I have both.
I'm gonna go Desmond. I'm gonna go from Trumbo to Judge and figure out how I'll do that. I'm gonna go down from Adam Jones and I'm gonna find a really cheap flyer. I'm gonna play Tommy Pham on St. Louis.
Who dat?
Tommy Pham played on St. Louis. He's 7.
The fam.
Yeah. GPP for tonight: Anderson, Tehran, Realmuto, Bruce. Okay, that's his lineup.
That was too fast.
That's his lineup, I guess. Captain Jennings, A stack. Which guys you like? Davis, Alonso, Plouffe.
Plouffe.
No, Plouffe is not playing. Davis, Alonso.
No, I just thought I thought it was a cool name, so I said it like weird.
I like Davis, Alonso, and Joyce if I go there.
I can see it. I like Davis today. Yeah, I think if I had to pick 5 players at home run, he would be one of them.
Jason says Almora is a good play if you're looking for value. Almora is too expensive for what I'm trying to get to. I literally can only afford a $2,000 outfielder. That is the price I have.
Is there anybody that's $2,000 in the outfield?
There is Pat.
Tommy Pham.
Tommy Pham and Pat Kivlahan.
What about Jaff?
Jaff is even more than 2,000.
Well, dang.
So
Super punt, huh?
got to do what I got to do to get Desmond and Judge in the lineup. I got Gift as well at my second base spot. I ended up only having one Baltimore player, and that's Chris Davis, so I'm okay with that.
If you guys aren't already in the free contest, segment 2 starts on Monday, so it's kind of like the last 2 slates here to decide who is going to win a seat in the championship, the winner of the first segment, but obviously there's a running total, so top 20 will also qualify. Try to get in there. We do it on FanDuel and DraftKings, free to join. Tournament at the end of the season for a grand prize. And then we got NASCAR. Tomorrow's NASCAR race, the winner will qualify. It's one of 4 qualifying races this summer. So, you don't know anything about NASCAR, doesn't really matter, man. It's free. Throw a line in there. Maybe you win. You qualify for the championship. So
Armanda says Anderson is due for a decent game. Yankees are due for a bad game.
You believe in due. That is 100% correct.
I'm going to stick with Sanchez and Judge.
What's the weather like in Chicago today?
Wind is blowing in, and it is 49 degrees.
Ouch. Yeah, that makes me really not want to play that game.
True that. What's the weather like in Baltimore? I'm trying to decide. It's blowing out and 58.
It's raining, isn't it?
Yeah, but the wind's blowing out and it's still 60 degrees, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to just take my lineups and be happy.
Don't worry, be happy.
Trumbo Jones. So I can forget Pham. Where's Jones at? Jones is right there.
Yeah, that completely makes me avoid that game, man. It's a wind tunnel in Chicago and it's freezing.
I'm gonna play Ionetta on the Arizona side.
Doesn't feel like it. That's what I had. Remember, I had that stack.
Mm-hmm.
I had Tomas, Drury, and Ionetta.
I can't get Drury, so I'm going to stick with Gift. I'm going to hope that it's the gift that keeps giving.
I like it. I like it, man. Hopefully. Oh, man. We didn't really talk much about Washington. They're playing? Who are they playing? Philly, right?
Yeah, no Bryce.
Velasquez. Maybe some Daniel Murphy.
What do I think of Tehran? No Tehran. Absolutely no Tehran.
I don't really have an opinion on Tehran either.
Nope, no Tehran Fry. Not against, where is he at? Where's Atlanta? Not against these St. Louis lefties. Absolutely not. I like targeting. I like playing the St. Louis lefties versus him. Carpenter. I can still play with Grichuk. I mean, you talk about a lefty haven in Atlanta.
Haven.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'll take my St. Louis lefties. Not on Tehran at all. Refuse to play him. All right. Well, Tame's the.
That's about all I got, man.
Yeah, I did.
Unless you guys got questions.
Did see that, Jason. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, by the way, Jay and Ant will be doing their live NASCAR show tonight, so make sure to check that out. About 8:00.
Definitely.
8:00. They'll be going live. Get you situated for tomorrow's race. Other than that,
Yeah, and again, that free contest, man. Again, did a NASCAR lineup, and the winner gets to go. So, definitely worth it.
absolutely. So check it out, guys. We will talk to you in Slack. As always, thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful rest of your day.